Shamans, we understand, cause we are the Tech Shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.
Well, hey, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Oh my God.
We're all on our computers.
Yeah.
We're on.
Yeah,
we're on. Hello, everyone.
Everybody's on
Hi.
their phone. Hey,
It's Monday.
is it?
All day. Well, right up until it ends.
We have a great tech fail today. I cannot wait to get to it.
Can't wait to get to the tech.
Me, pick me. I want to be the tech fail today.
Well, okay.
We've got some fun stuff to talk about.
Oh my God, it's crazy. But we have some good stuff today.
Yeah,
I have to say.
Page starts on page 8. I'm going to be behind.
Page 8.
It's okay.
No,
I mean,
2.
Page 2.
Oh yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. So anyway, hey, did you tech this weekend? I this is going to be something I talk about every. I don't know how my microphone was working because it was unplugged. That's interesting.
I definitely was able to tech this weekend. It feels like for the first time in months, because and you heard a giggle from the other side of the peanut gallery over here. Who knew that when I guess it was Big Sur was released for Macs, that it would be basically incompatible with your Fusion drive. And the Fusion drive on a Mac is a combination of a normal hard drive and a solid state drive.
Okay,
And solid
lean
state
over
is
that way
insane.
So you can actually be in the middle
Fine,
of
but
your
I was
camera.
comfortable. Damn it.
No. You have to
we shall
adjust
not
your-
be comfortable.
You have to adjust your camera now because you're leaning.
There. Now I'm in. All right. So what happened was I took my 2015 Mac into a place called AMS Computers, and just before I left for vacation.
You're not supposed to take it to those guys.
Well,
I've warned you about those guys.
well, the problem is, those guys will take it to you. But
True.
no, honestly, they do make house calls. But so I get the computer back with a new hard drive in it, all solid state, and it is as fast as my wife's brand new 2020 Mac. It runs brilliantly. It is like brand new out of the box. Absolutely incredible. It's like having a whole new computer. And I mean, phenomenal. A quarter the price of buying a new computer, which was really the best part.
That's good.
So, yeah,
especially.
and I mean that was just amazing. So, cannot say enough good stuff about Adam over here and the work that they do down there at AMS, because it made the rest of my weekend so much easier to not have to wait for stuff to open. Just watching it pop right open on the screen as soon as I click on the icon. That was just amazing. So thank you for making my weekend tech possible, because although it was not directly related to that, it left me then time to watch Jungle Cruise on Disney. So
not the show for that, but that was good.
yeah,
I
it was
enjoyed it.
Definitely fun.
I got
Definitely
to watch that.
fun.
So what about you there, boss? Hoss?
If Netflix is considered teching, then that's what I do.
No. That's not considered teching. No.
Yes.
No.
Well, it depends on how you're doing it.
That is true. If you had to build the computer that day, put it all together, and make sure your video cards are working, and you have a test, yes, you're
Or
right.
if you can find a lame excuse to bring it into the conversation like I did, then yes. But that's Disney Plus, which is a whole different level of tech.
Right. Adam's mic is not working.
Not okay. And so I'm going to sit here and talk more about tech while Adam's mic is now not working. But now Adam can test it to see if it works.
Testing
Adam,
it now.
Hey, can you hear me?
Do you try the other channels?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course he did.
I need someone
Rob
to
is
bring
brilliant.
me a cable.
Can you
Yeah.
hear me now?
But anyway, so
Yeah.
we didn't.
What did you do this
We
weekend?
tried to. I tried to be the ultimate tech.
Uh-oh.
We went over to NASA, and we were going to watch the launch on Thursday.
You tried to hack from inside the system. Attaboy, John.
Kind of. But, you know. Anyway, but that we were going to talk about that later. So we're going to jump into first. We're going to jump into the South Africa's transit restores operations as ports after attack. So I guess this is a thing. And did you put this in here? Because I really need an XLR cable brought out to me so I can get under the table and fix his microphone.
Yes,
please.
and then we can go on to the topics to discuss those
Because-
things that we actually read about.
Well, yeah. So let's jump over to Facebook and tech giants to target attack manifestos far right. Oh, where did I get this?
I don't know, but this is a case of they are going to use AI again to begin going after anybody that they, from their ideological standpoint, deem to be troublesome or a threat. Apparently, it only involves half the political spectrum, because only half the political spectrum actually is a threat. We'll have to figure that out and where that came from. And by that, and where that came from, I'm not talking about the cable that just flew over my head. Oh, Mike was in camera. So I know where that came from because I can see. But they are, using algorithms in order to read whatever anybody is posting and decide if it is any kind of extremist ideology, because they are refusing to let any extreme ideology be put out there on the internet except that which they approve of. So that's really what's going on with Facebook there. It is questionable when you see only one side being targeted in any of the press releases or anything, but what are you going to do? I mean, most people have gotten to the point now where the fact-checking, the bans have all become a moot point at this point, because now if you see a fact check on a political post, it means it probably has some serious credibility behind it. And but then actually there was an interesting thing on this whereby they actually backtraced some of the
Hopefully
funding.
that works now.
Yeah, Adam,
I'm sure hope it works.
did Adam's mic just work?
Testing.
We're waiting for the word yes.
No.
That would be the wrong way to pronounce yes.
Yes, you don't like that. Yes.
Oh, so that is, what was it? They just found this weekend that factcheck.org was actually funded in part from a very strong, radical left-wing group. And, the money was just funneled around from the DNC over to that group and then over to Fact Check or something along those lines. It's like, oh, yeah, that's
12.
Totally unbiased. So at this point, you've got your
Test.
I saw somebody. Yes, I can stop rambling now about, Facebook. And
Well, you love Facebook. We know you love Facebook.
I'm going to leave the comment that I was about to make about how, we have social media platforms and we have social monitoring platforms, and you can guess which ones fall in which category at this point. But that actually ties into another story that I think I see later on. So
Right.
we'll come back to that one
Wow,
when we try to salvage some of our audience. Hi,
There
audience.
we go. Everybody left. So I don't know why that wasn't checked before the show, but hey, it is what it is.
Because you asked Rob to do something.
No, probably, and I probably got him off
Exactly.
Target. It was like I always. I am super good at that. So scientists have transformed pure water into metal.
Which is really stupid because, water's everywhere. I mean, what if you're thirsty? Okay.
Isn't that just mercury?
Then the metal doesn't do you any good. Mercury.
Sorry, I had to.
Yeah.
That's what they make
No,
the Terminator 3.
Yeah,
right?
that's
Oh.
pretty cool though.
Well, this is actually.
Look.
Can we do something with this in order to create, a Terminator type something or other?
It's kind of cool.
Is it turning
It's-
into metal as quickly as it comes out of this dropper?
Yeah.
If it is,
I
then we
think
should
the
be
little
doing 3D printing
the little
with that.
silver ball
I see
inside
it's-
there is the metal.
Well, then why aren't we doing 3D
It
printing
looks like
with
it's-
this? That's
that-
freaking awesome.
You know what? That is really cool idea.
But what
Yeah.
are they going to make
Yeah.
out of it?
Metal?
Everything?
The silver, sodium, potassium droplet that covers itself with a golden glow, which is very impressive. Under high enough pressure, pretty much any material could theoretically become conductive. So trying to use it for conductive material, a better conductive. I mean, we already have gold, but I guess gold is. Gold is not as readily available as everybody thinks it is. The amount of earth that is destroyed trying to mine for gold is crazy.
It blows me away how many people think that there's supposedly these giant warehouses of gold that has been hoarded by the Illuminati and everything, when the actual amount of gold in the world total in the whole world fills 3 Olympic-sized swimming pools.
Right.
That's all there is. So these people talking about roads that run underneath from France to Mexico or something stupid like that, being completely lined on the sides. It's like, no, you couldn't even gold plate the damn walls
So
with the
from
amount
a
of gold we have.
technological standpoint,
Yes.
since we're a tech show, we're not a gold
Yep.
show, but so most stuff is not solid gold. Most stuff is gold plated.
Absolutely, or an alloy of some sort, yeah.
Right. So it's really like people, that's solid gold. No, I don't think so.
We'll have to check on that one. And what do you mean by solid? Because anything that's actually, pure gold is going to be so soft, it's almost like butter.
Yeah. You're gonna sit
Okay,
there,
it's
bend,
crazy.
Bend your hand, and your ring's gonna get
Exactly,
destroyed
yeah.
instantly. So.
Yeah, gold jewelry is almost worthless.
But anyway, I mean,
except for the fact that it's incredibly
that's
expensive.
kind of cool. That
Wow, it's worthless, but yet it costs a fortune.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool.
That is
That is a really cool development.
I mean, I guess down the road it will have some.
They'll find some applications for it, I'm sure. Like I said,
Right.
yeah, it could be awesome in 3D printing.
I will say that there's been a lot of new findings happening. I think researchers are in both physics and everything. They're coming across and finding things out that had either been thoughts.
A lot of people have been locked in over the pandemic, and this is what they've done with their vacation time.
Well, you know what? They're doing a great job.
Hey, look, I've discovered the unified field theory.
Yep.
Screw you, Einstein.
I did skip by that. I did not read it.
Okay, so why you should suddenly need. Okay, I'll tell you right now, it's one of the most annoying things on your freaking iPhone is Gmail.
Yeah.
First of all, every time I turn around, if Gmail's, I had to take them off all my Apple products because you get this Nokia
Yes.
server error.
Constantly. Every time you drive by a new Wi-Fi connection, it automatically pops it in. So you're driving down the road, and it's like pop, pop, pop. And the worst is it's coming up in front of your maps while you're trying to do directions. You're getting a pop-up, you hit delete, it comes right back up again and again and again and again and again. You can't get rid of it. It is one of the most annoying things in the world. I mean, just short of that sound that Jim Carrey makes in a movie. I think we all remember that one. But it's like right underneath that. All right.
I don't have that issue because I told my phone not to connect to Wi-Fi networks that come within range that I've not connected.
Well,
to
mine
before.
I did too. That I've got, but I still get the, and it's not just me. It's everybody else is getting the exact same thing. So I just went and downloaded Gmail.
Yeah, the Gmail app is instantaneous. I mean, you get an email, you get notification.
Yeah. And in the Gmail app, I have all my Google.
So why they're telling us
email.
to remove it?
Because if you put it in your mail and have your mail app try to grab all that, jacks it all to hell. So I literally I know off the top of my hand right now, I guarantee 20 people that had to go and remove it and go download Gmail so they wouldn't.
Oh, so they built it in to force you to download their app so they can monitor you absolutely without any kind of, encumbrance or Apple privacy rules. Wow, that's really nice of them.
And the minute I did it, my phone stopped.
How
acting
come
like a moron.
exactly? How come I'm hearing that old line? Hey, you know that's a real nice window on your store. It'd be a shame if something happened to it. You know, I mean, and here we are again. It's like, wow.
It's okay. I have insurance.
everybody says, "Oh, I
You've
have
got
insurance."
oops insurance.
Yeah.
Oops.
So yeah, but
have oops insurance.
exactly. So that makes, but now it makes more sense.
That it was actually intentionally designed that way. It's a feature, not a bug. Sure. See, look, more
You
oops
and-
insurance
you and
needed.
your Oops insurance.
too
close
but
to your
It's
computer.
but it was frustrating because as a tech guy, I'm got a pretty good handle on my phone.
Oh, and it would just
when you sit there and I literally have people texting me and emailing me all the time going, "Do you have problems? You have an iPhone, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." "Oh, we need a rag out here."
What?
Because you have spillage over here. And it's they're like, "Well, it won't stop." I'm like, and so the first thing I say is turn your Wi-Fi off. And they're like, "Why does that matter?" Back into that whole thing last week where we answered,
Oh, yeah.
when you go into a house, why do you have to turn your Wi-Fi off when you try to make a phone call and everything? Okay, so, and I think it all stems from Apple's trying to protect us and going, no one is just going to follow you on your iPhone anymore. You can't track. You have to answer the question. Now that I'm using apps that I haven't used before. Oh, do you want this to allow to track? Tell Apple. Tell app not to track me. And I think Google, because Google tracks heavily,
Right.
Apple's like, nah.
No.
But why is it a Nokia server issue? That's the weird thing.
Yeah. You just never know what.
It's like, oh well, it's a Nokia server, and I'm like, no, that's Google. And what's Google trying?
Well, they might be doing some of the tracking for like some maybe ads and stuff like that. So they some of the traffic may be routed through a particular server,
Right.
for additional tracking.
Okay.
So it's not like all the traffic's going there,
Right,
but
right.
only part of it is going there, and it's
Got
being
it.
blocked. So they throw those errors out. So just your one data connection can go through multiple different servers and different ports and stuff like that. So your general emails come directly from Google servers, but they may try to get some kind of other back end information, and they'll
Right.
send that off somewhere else. So that way it doesn't bog down their main servers that are handling the email. Their ad tracking and things like that might go somewhere else.
Right.
Keyword
Okay.
tracking, things
Well,
like
that makes
that.
sense then. The only apps that I really want that allow to track me are DJI when I do drone work.
Oh yeah.
Because without it, you don't know. You gotta know. That's the stuff that I don't care if they track. So
Yeah.
So Anthony,
yes.
why this is all out of order, I don't know. But today's topic. Talk about it. Let's talk. I don't have any assets to show, but
No, because this is a philosophical discussion, ladies and gents.
is this a proven
the moment.
philosophical?
Thanks, John.
You're welcome.
Your business is always and only about marketing. Everything else is just an expense. That is a statement that's going to drive people crazy if they say they love their jobs. If they say they love what their work, theirs is a passion job. But let's look at the facts. If you sell a phone case, let's just say a phone case, okay, and it costs you $15 to buy it, and it costs you $10 to ship it and do all the work involved with shipping and handling and all that stuff. So you're now at $30, and you go out there and you think, okay, well, I got to sell it for $60 in order to make a living on this thing. Well, the fact is, no, you don't. You can actually sell it for $30.01. If you've already calculated in all your shipping and handling and all your other expenses into that $10, then your only job is to sell these for $30.01. Everything over that is gravy, or actually what it is marketing money. And this is where a lot of people really miss the boat. They think that, my marketing budget needs to be 10%, if you're established, your marketing budget's supposed to be like 6 or 8% of your budget. And the fact is, and if it's a new product introduction, maybe 10%, 15% tops for the first 2 or 3 weeks. You hear that kind of crap. And it's backwards. It's absolutely backwards. Your most important dollars you spend are spent on marketing. And all you have to do is sell whatever it is for enough to cover it and to cover your profit expenses. Okay, I'll refer to them as that, because if you've got your own paycheck or anything built into the profit or your growth plans or whatever, you're still doing that wrong. That's still all just expenses in the buildup. But whatever you have to do to get those sales in is what you have to do. There's a trick out there. And when I tell you how this works on internet marketing, you may have a little light bulb go off. What's happening is you go out and you are selling an ebook that costs you nothing, okay, to resell. You got your hosting, you got maybe a cost of $1 on it, all right? So you go out there and you spend $10 on advertising for that, and you sell 5 of them. Well, that's fantastic. You spent $10, you sold 5, your cost of goods was, $5, but, you've made yourself, again, now $5 extra. So what you then do is you turn back around, you take your original $10 advertising budget, and now you add to it the $5 in profit that you made. So now you're at 15. So now you turn that back around, now you sold maybe 10 instead of 5. You keep rolling the money, 100% of it back in, again and again and again, until you hit what's known as the point of diminishing returns, the point at which you see it actually start to turn around, and the more you spend on advertising, it doesn't make any difference. You're not selling any more items. That is the time when you have spent enough money. Now, I know people, they're making, $30,000 a month. That's not a bad little income off an internet, marketing, business. The fact is, their advertising budget is $100,000 a month in order to generate that $30,000 in income. So this is where, but you get there by constantly leveraging your first marketing expenses up. And you go until it becomes not worth doing it anymore, because it's not giving you any more return. But the fact of the matter is, everything about that process is about the marketing budget. I mean, you're looking at someone whose marketing budget is 80% of their sales. Think about that for a minute. And is that what it should be? Yes. Yes, it should, because at that point, that's when it diminished, and they were making $30,000 a month. Yeah, they could have stopped any time before that. So, well, I spent $5,000 and I made $8,000. Isn't that great? Or, I spent $10,000 and I made $13,000. I'm making myself $3,000 a month. Isn't that great? And they found that they could keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And really, the fact is, it is all about the marketing budget and how you implement it, how you institute it, how you monitor it, so that you make sure that ultimately whatever it is, notice it doesn't even matter what they were selling. That didn't matter.
Right.
There are people who get into internet sales, they don't care. I mean, you see the ads for it all the time. I built a page, I got $9,000 in sales on my first day. All they're doing is leveraging. They're just leveraging and leveraging and leveraging. It doesn't matter what the item is. If you have God forbid you have an Amazon store and you're just an Amazon reseller selling Amazon stuff with your own, you can start this with your own seller account for almost anybody out there. You can do it with, books. You can do it with software programs. There's a company out there called JV Zoo, and they're a joint venture zoo, basically. You can go through, find any product you want, and run your own business selling that product. And you leverage it up, and it doesn't matter what the product is.
Right.
And so that's why when we have to stop ourselves. If what you're doing for work right now is not your life's passion, and you want to absolutely make sure that everything that you put out is you're like an artist, and you want to make sure every one of those items is absolutely perfect in every way because it represents some part of your soul. If that's not you, then your only job is marketing. That's it. That is the only thing you should be focused on, is how much more can I spend on marketing until I hit that point of diminishing returns and this thing actually then becomes its maximized potential. And that's it. So I just wanted to get into that philosophical concept to kind of, because when you do that, suddenly it's all just an experiment.
Right.
It's just like, let me see what I can do. Boom. And you're going to blow through it, and you're going to blast through it and make it as big as you can, just following that same step. Get your ego out of it. Get your fear out of it. Get that fear of rejection, the worry about it not being good enough. You know, your ideas and forget it.
Never good enough.
Well, but that's just a fact, John. I love you, brother. But that is, if you can pull away that thought of my product is what I need to be focused on, and think my marketing is what I need to be focused on, then I think you will see a significant shift in your business as you kind of just like leave all that baggage behind and work on nothing. Because then it doesn't matter if I've got lousy marketing, but you know what? I do so much of it, it doesn't matter. Great. You can tweak your marketing. Okay, but you don't even have to start by tweaking it. You can start by maximizing it. Put 100% of your revenue that you derive from your digital marketing back into digital marketing. Keep just enough to fulfill. Put everything else back in. And just keep leveraging it up and up and up and up. And and you can do that weekly. You can do it monthly. It depends on what your advertising limit is on say Facebook. Okay, whatever that is, that's your cycle. And if you have a $500 limit or a $5,000 limit, that's your cycle that you push for. You want to hit that, and you want to move beyond it. And just keep funneling the money back into that account so that it just stays there and just keeps paying for more ads. Because it doesn't matter if you're only making 1% profit on it. Then,
unless you want to eat.
No, doesn't matter.
That's okay.
Yes.
Yep. This is your digital marketing. You keep enough for you to eat. People do it backwards. You know how much you need to eat. Yeah. You know you need $100 a week or whatever it is.
You know, there's an old saying that
what's that?
A successful businessman pays himself first.
Yep. That is absolutely the case.
First. And when you pay yourself first, then you can go on and worry about.
Right. Well, remember, I said that cost was embedded in the cost of goods.
I know.
That's okay, perfect. So that's absolutely in there.
Right.
But in this case, stop thinking that anything else you're doing is anything except for pushing the marketing on this thing until you hit the point of diminishing returns.
So
there we go.
So we're going to jump to Adams, and I don't know how Adams got put to the bottom, but we don't. Amazon, Kindles, is that what you're going to talk about?
Yeah, Amazon and then the older Google devices.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Both of these.
At 17 and...
It's floating around in there somewhere.
It's in there somewhere.
So,
17 and 7. There you go.
17 and 7? All right.
24.
So, God.
5?
No. It's too early, guys. It's Monday. So, just kind of give you an idea. If you have any of the older Amazon Kindle devices or Amazon devices, and also some older Google devices, Android tablets, things like that. First off, on the Android side, Google's no longer going to allow you to sign in to your devices and utilize them.
Well, why is that, though? That's dumb.
Well, there's a thing called security risks.
Oh, okay, never mind. It's not dumb anymore.
So what they've done is
smart.
There are no security risks. That's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, right. So as the units can no longer get updated and they don't receive any new updates, the operating system that's in there and the browser itself can no longer access some of the secured websites.
I have actually, it's not just Google devices. It's actually I have a laptop, Apple laptop, that I can no longer get into my Google. And I have an older iPad that I can, actually 2 older iPads that I'm not able to get into Google now.
Right. And that's the problem. You cannot update the browsers in these devices. So without any new firmware that gets pushed by the developers, these devices become obsolete. And so you can no longer securely sign in. Before, you used to be able to just sign in, use the devices, and then some websites might not show up, things like that. But now they've come to the conclusion, well, we can just go ahead and not allow these devices to sign in at all.
Right.
Now people have no choice but to upgrade. So if you have some of these older devices, it's time to either upgrade or, definitely get your stuff off them, wipe them clean, and get rid of them because they're going to be shut down and you're no longer going to be able to utilize them.
I'm using mine for media players.
Well, if you can't, some devices that if you can't sign in, they are totally useless.
Yeah.
So without being able to add an account, some of the devices, you just won't be able to use it at all. That's just, FYI, keep your eyes open if you have some of these older devices. For most of the time, people hand down their devices to their children. So if your children are using them, things like that, just be forewarned that, they're going to come offline and they're no longer going to be able to be utilized with all the services with, either Amazon or Google services. So it's time to plan on doing some upgrades.
Okay. So, yeah. Sucks if you have older stuff that you like and it can't work.
Yeah, especially if
and you can't even retro it, you can't mod it, you can't do anything with it.
What bothers me is the fact that sometimes you pay really good money for the higher end devices, and those processors and are still capable by today's standards, but yet they get left behind. And I will say Google Android systems are notorious. Their OEMs are notorious for not pushing updates on all their devices, and there's no harmonious operating system between any of the devices. Each OEM has their own kind of stuff they get to push and do whatever they want, and sometimes some companies leave their devices prematurely off in the dust and don't even worry about upgrading them, and it's just disheartening. That's why I use Apple products.
Well, I'm talking about I have 2 iPads and a Mac that I can no longer use.
Well, understand, when your Mac reaches, you can always put your older operating system on, but if you have an older Mac, you can always put Windows on it. John's looking.
Why would you do such a thing?
It's called a Mac for a reason.
Yeah, because it works.
Hey, but you know what? It's technically just a Windows device. I mean, it can run it. It's just
an
Intel computer.
But it's at the last. I can't go any further with the OS that's on it.
What do you want it? El Capitan.
Yeah.
Then you can run Windows 7.
Okay.
But then again, the Windows 7's been knocked off.
Yeah, that's a little deprecated.
Yeah. I just may use it as it still has a DVD-ROM in it.
Don't
I
worry.
may just use it as a looping DVD for it.
We'll put Ubuntu on it or something. Yeah, we'll put Linux operating system on there, and we can just keep going.
Oh God! All right. Speaking of Google.
Speaking of Google.
Google's time crystal discovery is so big.
How big is it?
We can't fully comprehend it.
Well, maybe they can't.
We can't even fully. Not only can we not fully comprehend it, we couldn't even use it until the future.
This is
but they can't even fully explain it.
This is like the Schrodinger's cat.
Yes. Schrodinger's cat is kind of.
Is it dead or is it alive? Okay, so with this time crystal, is it real or is it just bullshit that Google is trying to grab headlines?
I looked at now. They have written a paper. It is not yet published, so it has not passed peer review.
Right.
My quick scan of the paper says that, well, in a nutshell, they have found a way of isolating a particle that remains active without losing any energy. Imagine a Super Bowl or a little Super Ball that you toss into an aquarium and it just keeps going.
Yep.
Okay. It never, ever, ever, ever stops. Now, a lot of people think molecules do that, but if you cool them down far enough, you let them go long enough, yeah, they will finally just die. They'll disintegrate and die. But in this case, they've got this situation with quantum computing where the qubits that they are qubits, qubits for quantum bits, are they have a problem in that at the quantum level, when you observe them, they behave differently with them when they are not being observed. So when you look at them, they're like hyper children in the aquarium, but when you turn away, they just stop moving.
Right.
These new time crystals, which were theorized back in 2012, apparently continue to react even when you're not looking. So you can kind of pair them with the qubits in order to keep the qubits still moving. Now you have the ability to do massive quantum computing.
Right.
The problem is, as with all things, including one of the other stories on here, is that human beings trying to isolate variables in these equations are limited by the number of variables that humans can imagine. And so they may go, oh, look, it's continuing to bounce with no forces acting on it. Well, no forces that you thought to measure. No forces that you understand. So as the headline reads something along the lines of, it's so amazing, we don't even know what it might mean. The fact of the matter is, it's beyond your imagination. So are the number of variables in the equation that you're trying to measure, because there could be quantum forces that have not been isolated yet. There could be dark matter influences here.
Right.
There are all kinds of energy chaos going on. I'm sure you were using it within a fluctuating gravitational field on a planet with a molten core. Okay, I mean, I'm sorry, but you're dealing at a level where those kinds of things can make a difference. And you can't isolate from them. So this idea that, oh, look, we finally found it, I mean, yeah, maybe, but there are more things, Horatio, in than you have dreamed of.
So basically what you're saying is they found a quantum particle that remains stable, and they could use that to gauge some kind of...
No, that they think remains stable. Because
from what we understand as stable.
Well, no, but still, they think it's stable. If you take it off planet and go measure it, it might not work.
True.
If you take it to a different solar system, it might not work. If you it doesn't necessarily mean it's universal constant. Now, does that mean that as long as it's here on Earth, that's great, it's going to work? Well, yeah, until that variable changes. Okay, let's say the pole switch. Oops, suddenly all of your quantum devices run backwards. Okay, I mean, we don't know.
Then that would be like Y2K. Pole 2K.
Pole 2K, there you go.
Watch out, everybody. The poles are flipping and the computers are going down.
Oh, the Poles, the Slavs, the Russians.
But, it's interesting that, they basically think they've got something.
Yeah.
And they can't even apply it to anything today because we don't have the technology today to even utilize it.
Yeah, and so, I mean, it's great. Good luck. I hope it is what it is and that we can use these, quantum computing, capabilities, which can be used to solve enormously complex problems in very short amounts of time. I mean, the other option is we just start using the computing power we have, which is pretty freaking enormous. And I know because my computer just, had a massive upgrade. No. And, so they can use my computer once in a while. Or maybe we can get all of those, hard drives or game chips that are no longer, being allowed to be used for crypto mining, and put all them to work on creating a cure for cancer. Of course, I understand those aren't quite the value people might think they are.
Well, that's just because they're losing 10% of their potential every year that they've been used, and the amount of...
And what is the definition of a year of use, though? 8 hours a day, 300 days a year? How does that compare to...
What is it, 9,000 hours?
9,000 hours a year, okay, which is, roughly 3 or 4 times, what you should have. And so...
Number one, I think, buying these devices used, yes, they're going to have a lot of mileage on them.
Yes.
Think of it as mileage as in a car, number one.
Yeah,
and
sort of.
Number two...
I tend to think of it like like charges on a battery is
charges on a
probably
battery,
a
yes.
better,
There you go.
way to think about it.
But think of it also as, even if you buy a graphics card, for instance, that's, a year old, and you're like, oh, it's still going to be under warranty. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but these manufacturers are going to know whether or not those devices were run in a crypto mining environment. And a lot of times...
Speaking of... I love how it just rolls it right on in there. Graphic cards buyers are warned about buying GPUs used in crypto mining.
Don't you love it when John finally realizes that a conversation's been going on for 3 minutes waiting for him to segue into the article, and he finally catches on that that's what we're doing?
That was great.
I mean, literally, you could see the light bulb right here as he
have an article about
as he
this.
stopped reading whatever the hell he was reading and decided
That
to
was
look at
great.
what we were talking about.
I was reading ahead, going, "Do we need to talk about the climate
We needed to
change?"
talk about graphics cards,
Because
and there's
we're
gonna be
there.
an influx of them on eBay. And
there has been.
Amazon,
It's huge.
And it's funny because they're not.
I haven't seen anything on eBay.
Yeah, there's some on there. There's some on.
Are they
there.
really?
Yeah, they just.
Okay.
But people aren't really considering the mileage that have been put on these things.
Right.
I mean, if you
And the
think
warranty.
you
They're,
the,
a lot of people.
the kid in the basement who hasn't changed his underwear in 2 years is going to be, wear and tear on these things. Imagine what these mining environments are.
Oh, God,
where the
forget about it.
electric bill is $250,000 a month.
Whoa.
Okay,
And just think.
Yeah.
These prices are inflated, so you're buying used cards at full retail. Okay.
or more.
Or more of regular what MSRP is supposed
Yep.
to be, and then you're stick them in your machine and you're thinking, oh well, it's a card that has a normal 3-year warranty. Well, once that card prematurely fails and you send it into the manufacturer, they're going to be like, yes, this card was used in crypto mining. We're not going to honor the warranty, and those are a lot of them.
Is that actually a standard part of the warranty now?
Yes, there is. A lot of manufacturers have stated that they will not honor warranties on the graphics cards that are utilized in crypto mining.
Wow.
So
Then you see why.
And
And you're burning them out.
you're burning them out, and they know it, and they're not gonna stand for it. They're not
your 3-year warranty will burn out in 90 days in
Right.
terms of usage.
It's like because now
crazy.
you're using your card in a commercial. Well, in their eyes, a commercial.
So it's
setting.
going to be 3 years or
No years.
150,000 hours.
No, 9,000 hours.
9,000.
Yeah. That's something to just be wary of. I know that's not great news. I mean, if you're absolutely desperate and you need a chip and you got to have it, then best of luck to you. But be aware, this is massive caveat emptor.
And next thing you know, they're going to be like, we have a header-to-header warranty on these graphics cards.
Right. That's,
Header to I/O plate.
so speaking of chips, slimmer chips could boost iPhone battery size.
Well, of
yes.
course.
And the bigger the battery, the hotter they get.
Yep. And you know what's great is that they haven't changed the technology yet. This is just wonderful.
Yeah.
Battery technology needs to change.
I was filming over again. We're going to talk about the tech bill.
Yeah.
I was filming over there in where I was at, and I was filming in 4K, and my phone got so hot,
Yeah.
unbelievably hot
Wow.
from filming in 4K, and it just churned the battery.
And why do you think Tesla runs antifreeze through their battery packs?
Yeah.
And
that may be something to consider is a cooling case for phones.
Now that'll just get bigger.
The case will get bigger, but when you're using it like that, it sounds to me like it might not be such a bad idea.
unless
No, I think
to have
there's got to be
is to
something to keep
have
them cooler.
is
Or
to have an
exotic
ice
metal.
pack built in the back that you get out of the freezer.
That someone made from water.
exotic metal that can pull the heat right out of the battery a lot faster.
Helical fin tubes on the back. I can steampunk the hell out of this thing. That would look so cool.
You would better put it in a pocket, but
He goes
who
to put
cares?
He goes to put it up to his ear, and a metal pipe just plows through his damn
Right.
brain skull. Damn it.
Hold on a minute. Let me get my phone out.
Right.
Here, hold on a minute. I got my phone right here. Hi.
crank.
Yeah, hello. Hello. This is like the opposite of Zoolander.
He's cranking it up.
Yeah, I got plenty of power. You guys
got a
don't
dynamo.
stop.
Hold on.
Stop.
Yeah.
Right. Hey,
Yeah.
did you guys ever watch that movie Ready Player One?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I
I love the movie, the '80s movie references. Oh my God!
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it was just loaded with eye candy, no doubt about that. The plot line was like, yeah, okay, whatever. It was an excuse for eye candy.
It was really interesting. And when I read this article, and because I personally have the Oculus Quest,
Yeah.
too, and I see that easily happening.
Oh yeah.
So
Very
Zuckerberg
easily.
wants to create a Ready Player One inspired metaverse.
With advertising. And I will
my
say
God.
they're already talking about
I
it.
can take up 70% of the screen without him going into a seizure. Woo!
Well, you know, a lot of they're talking about it in a lot of different forums and stuff.
Right.
And a lot of the, you know what? Believe it or not, a lot of the gamers, they're like, yeah, you know, we expected it. You know, they
Right.
expect
It's nothing
they're
new for
expecting
them.
it.
Right.
They're just saying like, don't sit there and let me start playing my game and then suddenly pop up a Taco Bell commercial and pause the game and pop up a Taco Bell commercial and, you know, have to go through, you know,
No.
some kind of thing. to
Have me
finish.
walk by the Taco Bell while I'm walking down the
That
street.
would- that's
okay.
cool.
Put that
Yeah.
kind of thing
Right.
in
No,
there.
see, that's
yes.
you know, the game.
Let me go into the Taco Bell
Burger
and
King,
order
King
my
has
lunch for
extended
delivery.
sign, you know?
Now, one of the
Or
games.
order my food for delivery right there in the restaurant in the game.
DoorDash it from the game.
Exactly.
There was a I forgot.
Get
the
your
name of the
hooker
game.
from the game.
There's-
You've been answering your friend requests again, haven't you, John?
So there was that racing game. I forgot the name of the racing game, but AutoZone had a heavy pull in it. When you were driving down the street, they were selling ad space of the billboards that were in the game that
Yeah.
were flying by, and AutoZone had advertisement.
Yeah.
Had the rights to advertise on the billboards in the game, and they paid for that right.
Right.
And I think it's Need for Speed. Yeah.
Okay.
When it first came out.
It
I'm
makes
talking
sense.
Xbox
I mean, that's
Xbox.
the way you put advertising in there, just like you have it in IRL.
And yeah,
there it is,
just
up
think
on a
of-
billboard,
You know
or
Earl,
you
too?
walk in. I know
Earl's
Earl.
awesome.
You know.
You know, it's going to be hell is when you're trying to play something, you know, a medieval game or, you know, something, and you're trying to figure out how they're.
Yee-ho, tacos! Get
So
ye-ho,
here's-
tacos!
okay,
It's
so-
2 for Tuesday.
How do we- How do we keep it?
So we remember the game. What was a Nukem Cola game? You know, with that wristy thing, the bomber boy. What was that?
I'm not a video game guy, so I can't
You
help you,
know.
boss.
Which one?
Where it had Nukem Cola, and it was after the apocalypse, and you could go and you build your game, and you build. You know, it was Outworld. You had to kill things. You know, it's
You know, for some reason I keep referencing Metro.
yeah,
Metroid.
no, that's
I
not
don't
it.
know why I
It's
keep-
it's anyway.
Okay.
So at one point in time in our other studio a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, we chroma keyed a set with one of my editors, Fallout. That's it.
Wow.
So you know, I can go and Fallout. You can build your own compounds and everything. So one of the guys that had for editing for me built a compound for Weaving TV. And what we did is you know, you could go in there and change the angles and the whole 9 yards. So he would, during Nerd Talk, he would play, he'd be inside the thing, and then that would be fed into our system, and then there we are inside.
Nice.
You know, but it had you know, neon Weaving TV. It had televisions on there that actually had our feeds.
Nice.
It was really kind of cool. So yeah,
You can do that in the Quest. You can make living spaces or whatever
Right.
you want.
Yep.
And it's pretty pretty
getting there.
in depth.
Yeah.
It's getting there. And so
Unfortunately.
Zuckerberg wants to control that too, because as we know,
Yep.
it's not social media, it's social monitoring.
social monitoring.
So what a great way to make sure you have enough social points built up that you're allowed into his multiverse. So you can go be with your friends.
Right.
It's like
because you're not one of those dissidents that they're monitoring.
You're gonna have the haptic suit so people can touch you. I love
Wait,
that.
what's this?
Oh, we're coming to this.
Yeah.
The haptic suit that where you know the
Yeah.
one where he won and
Yeah.
she was touching him all.
Oh,
over.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey.
They have they have those suits now, you know.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah,
Jeez.
give it 6 months of geekdom and it'll be built for real.
Right. So so the next
yeah.
one is and we're going back to Apple real quick.
Yep.
It's time for Apple to fix its confusing device charger strategy.
This is a very, very deceptive headline because if you read into the article, it says, well, they did fix it, but we didn't like the fix.
Yeah, I'm not saying this is
Yeah,
Apple putting
it's
this
like
out. Somebody else put this out.
I mean, they're looking at the fact that you've got 4 different charger modules or models that you could have, and I have to say I really do like the mag charger for the watch. Okay, that is incredibly convenient. Just pop it over there. But then again, I've also switched over to all the mag connections for most of my other Apple devices. I've even switched it over for non-Apple devices because with those things plugged in, everything takes the same charge cord now. I love that. So my headphones or my earbud, everything all takes the same charge cord. So you can make those modifications yourself. Apple came up with a charge pad that you could put all their devices on except for your MacBook. And everybody's like, we don't like it. It's 2018. So they're years ago they came out with it, and now he's complaining because they don't have it. Well, which is it? Okay, because he references it in the damned article. So, pick one, but you can't have both.
I like the Lightning port myself. I mean, I can see going to a USB-C.
My new iPad Air has the C.
Has the C.
Yeah, and it works just as well as the Lightning port. You reverse it. It doesn't matter which way you put it in.
Here's the thing. For guys like me who uses their phone for production work, it's a pain in the ass. Because now I'm going to have to go all like right now when we use our iPhones in our rigs, we have a Lightning port piece that goes in there and takes our audio and feeds the audio, and where you can feed audio into correctly. And we can use wireless microphones, shotgun mics, the whole 9 yards. The minute you go do that, those things aren't cheap. Those are like $70 to $80 every freaking time they change something out. It's just retarded. They need to find one and just stick with it.
You know what's he says MagSafe for Mac, but MagSafe for Mac is really not the case anymore because Macs now use USB-C.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he's talking about, anyways. So
he's just being a moron.
He's just being mean.
Well, they all still mag clip in.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah.
What it is they start off small, test it, but the MagSafe, the wireless charging, is not strong enough yet to charge those larger devices like the big iPad and stuff like that. It's just not. It's not capable of doing it. That's why I had to switch to USB-C because of the amount of power that those USB-C chargers can put out.
Yeah, I mean they can charge it, but it takes overnight.
I burnt mine up.
Yeah.
What?
My USB-C charger. Yeah, because I have because iPhone 12. You come out, you get the dongle that comes out USB-C and then drains into the Lightning port. Right? I burned that thing up.
The Lightning port part?
The USB-C part. The actual module itself, I burned it up. It won't work anymore.
Wow.
I mean.
He's mean.
Yeah, it's not that old. You should talk to Apple about that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I should. So, we only got a couple minutes left and we're
we still have a massive fail we have to talk about.
Tech fail. So let's roll that. Let's roll that beautiful teaser. There you go. Whatever it's called. I've lost my mind this morning. My brain's already thinking about trying to set up for another show. That's where my brain is.
There we go. It's time for the fail.
There you go. Big tech fail. Let me tell you something. So, this weekend, I told you, I went over to watch a launch. Woo! That's what I was going to do. Right? Nope.
No?
Nope. No launch. No launchy.
So the launch was a tech fail?
Yes, because, blame it on the Russians. The International Space Station thrown out of control by misfire of Russian module. What happened is that their module came up, blah, 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 and pushed it out of things. So the launch that was supposed to happen on Thursday is now happening on Wednesday, which may get rained out because the
space station's not where it's supposed to be.
They were too high. Too high in orbit.
Literally, the module that's attached to it just decided it wanted to fire off, and it started throwing them into a tailspin. And then all the astronauts are like, whoa!
So they get too high. And so what does that do? It's unfortunately our rockets are not just go stick a hose in there and pull a little more juice in it.
Yeah.
No, once it's packed and ready to go, it's packed and ready to go.
Yes.
So now they got control, and now they're going to have to bring the the space station back down to the correct orbit, so they can fire and meet up and woo,
Delightful.
Yeah, so we were over there.
That is a massive.
Well, the good thing is we found a nice little. Okay, so let me tell you something. If we did not want to watch we searched for other places to go just watch. If we didn't want to go camping, we just want to go over for the day.
Right.
Okay, so there was places you could watch the launch, and it was like $200 a spot.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So my wife found this great little. It's Manatee Hammock Park.
Yeah.
It's a county park.
Yeah.
Right. RV parking, trailer, blah blah blah. $26 a night. What? So right, $26. So we went in there and stayed 3 days. Well, actually, we were going to stay until Sunday, but the launch didn't happen.
Right.
And this park's not big enough for that kind of stay.
Right.
It's a great little 1-2 night thing, right?
Got it.
So, but we gave us some Grounders TV.
Yeah,
Stuff that
good,
we filmed a little bit of stuff like that. But yeah, so one of the biggest tech fails of this week is good old fashioned NASA blaming it. Well, it was the Russians, really, more than it was anything. They just messed it all up.
So basically, Trump ordered this in order to make Biden look bad, right?
That's what it was.
CNN finally has a headline they can run with.
But NASA's the one that stopped the spin, so they're the ones that stopped the spin.
NASA saved it. It was the Russians.
No, Space Force saved it. Damn it! It was Space Force.
The Russian module guy is one that knocked him out of. Is one that knocked him out. So it was. Yeah, it wasn't ours.
You must have been drunk on
But it was
vodka.
so sad because we were so excited. And I'm telling you, right across from Banana Bay, you could see. Remember the big warehouse where they put the shuttles in?
Yeah.
And they filmed the other movies in?
Yep.
You could see that one.
Nice.
And I'm like, so cool.
Great
Cannot
spot.
wait. It's $26.
Yep. Hey, actually, you just gave me an idea. I've got a
20
friend
seconds.
with an amazing laboratory, and they're doing some amazing space work, and they need a lab technician in the Tampa area. So if you're interested, just get in touch with us over here at Tech
I'll
Shamans
go.
at WeBeam TV.
I'll
Boom, go.
I'll quit this and go work from them. So,
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
super quick, as you can see with the articles. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see everybody next
Bye, everybody.
We got the plans 'cause we are the Tech Shamans. We understand 'cause we are the Tech Shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Oh, so yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.